Hello friends from the Rio Grande and me. Last month I was with the mighty Mississippi and now another river. So the river and I have some words and a short practice I'd like to share for this upcoming new moon in Libra. The moon is going to be fresh and new in Libra, directly opposite Mars, squaring Pluto. There's a lot of other things happening, but those are the big ones. And so this energy, it's feeling very much like a time to be alchemizing the enemy. And I have a class coming up on the new moon on October 16th entitled this. So this new moon portal, Alchemizing the Enemy. And the reason this theme feels so incredibly important right now is, again, Libra is holding these opposites for us. Libra is about finding this balance point between the opposites. And obviously, at least in the United States, we are at a moment where there are extreme opposites. And the extremes of the opposites are polarizing people. You got to pick a side, right? We have to vote soon. And, there's a lot of directed energy towards some shared enemies, whatever end of the spectrum you fall on, politically, religiously, culturally, whatever. There's a lot of feeling that this projection of all of our shadows, all of our undigested psychic, karmic knots and garbage projected onto one person, a group of people. And this it actually forces people into even deeper and deeper polarizations. Because what do you do when you're feeling attacked? You're going to likely attack back. Well, there's fight, flight, freeze. We've got many options, but typically this is really creating this divide. And so this alchemizing the enemy is really akin to this idea that when there is no enemy within, there is no enemy outside. So if I haven't done the inner work of, let's say, acknowledging, understanding, accepting, loving, like my inner enemy, like my inner, I don't know what, like terrorist, fascist. We all hold these energies within us. You want to pretend you don't? Fine, this is not the work for you. This is not the video you should be watching. But if we can accept that that is true about the universe, if you can get on board with me in that, is that everything out there is in here. And if you're pointing a finger at something, it doesn't excuse that behavior. It doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't necessarily mean it's like a complete figment of your imagination. It certainly is a consensus reality that we've all agreed upon. However, that person, that organization gains power when we hate it, when we want to direct and project all of our shadows onto it. It eats it up. It gets more and more and more powerful. Sound familiar? We can kind of see this playing out in many different arenas, politically, culturally, socially. So this moon with the square to Pluto, opposite Mars, incredibly powerful time to be moving into that enemy, like finding out where does that exist in you. So we're going to go deep into this in the new moon portal. So I'm not going to go too far into this, but today I want to share a really beautiful practice with you. If you got your mind sort of stuck on negative spirals. I'm hearing this from a lot of people right now because the current of, especially this country in the United States, but really globally, our minds can really spin into these downward spirals. We can see where we're headed potentially after this election, and it creates a lot of fear, right? And rightfully so. There's a lot to be concerned about right now, to say the least. That is the understatement of the year. However, when we lock into that thought, we're creating it. I mean, this is the vibratory frequency. And as humans, we're experiencing a great awakening at the moment, if you haven't, realized this. And so that means that every single one of us, our capacity to beam the universe into creation has amplified. We're more powerful than we ever have been. And so anytime you fall into a spiral of fear, you're creating that. That stream of consciousness has just gotten amplified. So this meditation I want to share with you, you only want to do it every now and then. You don't want to do this as a daily practice unless you're really in a spiral. Then you can do it as a daily practice. Really quick, we're not going to do it together. I'm just going to show you what to do, and you can practice on your own for 11 minutes. 11 is the magic number. It allows all the sort of parts of the brain to recalibrate, realign. It also affects the auric field, so your electromagnetic frequency as well. So you're going to rest the right hand in the left hand, and you're just sort of cupping the hands, right? So it's just like a gentle, elbows are resting into the sides, your hands are right at the heart level. So this makes a nice little cup. And whatever the thoughts are, like whatever the scenario is in your mind that you're playing out over and over again, whether it's globally, personally, whatever, you're going to spit it into the cup. Don't spit into your hands. That's gross. I mean, you can if you want, no judgment here. But you're going to imagine with your breath, spitting that thought out into your hands, right? So it's a long, deep inhale through the nose. So you're spitting that thought out on a long, deep exhale through rounded lips. So like a pursed, like you're spitting. And you're pouring it into the hands. You've got your eyes open. You're gazing. I mean, this cup, you're going to imagine this cup is like holding. This is sort of this depository to just allow all these thoughts to just be recycled, right? To allow you to alleviate your mind from them, because if the mind is busy with all of these thoughts, it's really hard to focus on what you want to create, right? We don't want to be in denial about our own fears. That's not healthy either. We don't want to live in la la land. So this practice really allows you to sort of clear that thought out. And it sort of cleans the slate for the work we're going to do on the new moon. So again, right hand in the left, spitting into the cup. When you finish, so you can like set your timer on your phone, 11 minutes, and then you're going to inhale. And this is really important. The end of this meditation, you're going to inhale. And imagine this energy coming in through the crown of the head, down the spine, all 26 vertebrae, from the top to the bottom. And take your time with this breath. So drawing in this vast capacity to beam, create, to manifest, to hold a frequency of love, of peace, of alchemy in your body. And so feeling it, holding the breath in. And you can do that a few times just to end, and then you relax, right? So really, really simple practice, really, really potent. And then on the new moon, what we're going to do is we're going to dive deeper into how do we alchemize this enemy, all right? So first things first, we got to clean the slate. We have to get the mind sort of clear of all this clutter that's sort of streaming through all these kind of currencies, like you say, frequencies that are beaming through the universe at this time, so that you can feel yourself again, so that you can actually feel how powerful you are. And so on the new moon, we're going to do some practices to alchemize that, to really bring this enemy into balance in you. And so then when you go at your activism work, when you go to the marches, when you write the letters, when you go vote, there's more power behind it, right? You've got this power of love behind it, of this alchemy. Because this is what makes us powerful, is when we can contain all of us, all of what we are. So you can find out more about this class on my website, NicoleNardoni.com. Please reach out if you have any questions at all. I'd love to hear from you. Sending so much love from the mountains and the river and me. Mwah.